and suddenly our Sanjay says, picture is not yet over. Now look at the opponents because he says, now Krishna and Arjuna have come right into my side in a beautiful chariot driven by white horses. Let us go to the 15th shloka. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Vrukodaraha. Sri Krishna. So after the Pauravan side, the conches began on the Pandavan side. Sri Krishna, his God-gifted Panchajanya, and Arjuna, the divine conch, Devadatta, and then the most fearsome Pandava, Bhima, he blew the mighty Poundra. So these are the names. If you see, each of these conches have names. Is that a little silly to give a name to the conch?
No,
Or is there a significance
it
behind
it describes the warriors. It describes the
of
personality of the.
personality? Okay, so Vrukodara, you look at the conch of, I mean, just look at all of this. Pandram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrukodara. Poundra is the name only sounds quite aggressive, isn't it? And the most aggressive of the Pandavas has got that. If you look at the size also, it was a huge one. Each of these Shankas had a story. Each of them had a story, and I think everybody develops a kind of association. And the very fact of sound travels, and sound has an impact. We have seen the rhythmic sounds of Vedic mantras having impact on children with special needs, or anybody else also for that matter. When we listen to certain rhythmic sounds, we feel elated. Sometimes we become very quiet, and sometimes when we are having no energy, we suddenly get enthused also. Or sometimes we are too excited, we learn to calm down. So there is something like that. And each of these had a different rhythm to it. So these Pandavas started blowing their conches. Let us just go on to the next shloka. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulaha Sahadevascha Subhosha Manipushpaka. And then Kunti's son, King Yudhishthira, sounded his conch, Ananta Vijaya, and the brothers Nakul and Sahadev, respectively, Subhosh and Manipushpaka. Kashyascha Parameshwasa, Shikhandi cha Maharatha, Drushtadimno Viratascha, Satyakishcha cha Parajitaha. Satyakish cha Parajitaha. So what is this? The Satyaki, undefeated one, the Virat, Drishtadyumna, king of Kashi, the war chief Shikhandi, all of them started blowing their conches one after the other. If you see up to the 18th shloka, we are not very concerned in our Gita study for the analysis of every character. Somebody does want to do it, you are most welcome. If you want a small introduction, it is there in the book Rhythm of Krishna on the last pages. I can share the PDF with you again in the group. But otherwise, it is worth for someone who wants to explore. They can explore the beautiful characters because each of them have a beautiful story behind it. But our journey is basically connected only to the Gita, and we will not look at these shlokas further. Just let us just look at the names and we continue. Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvashaha Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankhan Dadmu Prithak Prithak. Drupad, mighty Abhimanyu and Draupadi's all sons, O king, from all directions, they are conscious, bellowed at once. So what happened is when so many sounds come from one direction, you're not able to actually identify which direction they are coming from. It suddenly appears that it's surrounded, and that is exactly what happened. The Kauravan conches finished and these Pandavan conches started. Let us see what is the effect of this Ghosha. Saghosho Dhartharashtranam Hridayani Vyadarayat Nabhascha Prithvim Chaiva Tumulo Bhyanu Nadayan. Again, the tumul is there, as it was mentioned before. The tumult or the tumult was there. But something different is there in this tumult. Let us see. The call of the conscious sunk deep into the Kauravan heart, sending a ripple of fear, even in their greatest stalwart. So fearsome, a shudder spread, so fearsome, a shudder spread through the ground. Even the mighty skies reverberated that terrible sound, though they were not so much in numbers. Om Prakash ji wishes to add something. Is it so? No, all right. I'll just mute you. Yes, sir. So, the call of the conscious sunk deep into the Kauravan hearts, sending a ripple of fear, even in the greatest stalwart. So fearsome a shudder spread through the ground. Even the mighty skies reverberated. The terrible sound. It looked like even the skies are shaking. That was the power of this entire sound coming from.
এইটা গরমটা ঠিক চলে
I'll meet mute Chitralekha ji. Let's continue. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृते शस्त्रसम्पाते. Oh, no, sorry, I think I missed one. No. Yeah, 20th shloka. Yes. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः. Observing the Kauravan combative stance, Arjuna, whose chariot bore the flag of the legendary Anjaneya, ready to battle by raising and lifting his divine bow, and equipped his quiver with deathly arrows to let go. So if you see, there's a lot of confidence in our Arjuna. His or his flag, he is a Maharathi, and he has a special flag of his. And what is there on the flag? There is our Anjaneya, Hanuman himself. If you look at the story, there's a promise, the promise of the Chiranjeev. He has said that my presence will be felt, and I shall be there on your chariot. That was the promise. Has anybody told I will be there with you, and that one line has given a lot of strength to anybody? Just a line or just a promise. Can you feel it? If it comes from a very trusted source. Have you felt a
No,
real strength? Yes, Shashiji?
no.
No. If somebody has promised you that I will be there, if it is somebody divine, some divine figure has promised, and that
Oh,
promise,
yes,
huh?
sweet mother.
Yeah, isn't
Sweet
it,
mother
Shashiji?
has said, take my name and I'll always be there for you.
And have you felt her presence
Yes.
when you, yes, isn't it? And it's not
When I'm
just a
really,
thing of the
really
mind.
desperate, when I'm
Yeah,
sort of half not, half in, half out of sleep,
yeah, yeah,
when I've
yeah,
been extremely ill, I
yeah.
felt it.
You felt it. It's
Very
a
rare.
conscious presence. It's a conscious presence, isn't it? It's not just some mental imagination or
Yeah.
visualization or wishful thinking. Well,
Yeah.
something like that. And this was something so special that their chariot, if you see the aura of the chariot, it was Krishna who was the charioteer. Here is Arjuna is already a great warrior, ready to take not individuals, take down armies. And there is the flag of Hanuman. If you see even the Maratha warriors, this would say Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji, and then it was like suddenly they didn't have blood, they had fire flowing through them. And that energy would just take them ahead, and that is exactly how our Arjuna is. And one more interesting thing, if we see the last shloka, that is the 19th one, if you see, it says, Saghosho Dhartarashtranam Hridayani Vyadarayat. There's a fear, a ripple of fear spread into the hearts of the Kauravans. There were so many heroes in the Kauravan side. We heard it. One small question is, why did this fear come in? Why did the Pandavas not have that fear?
I think it's the conscious, what, it's like when they blow, they don't just blow.
Ah,
I think the thought goes in
okay.
there
Yes.
and it
But
it it
why only the
blankets them.
conscious? Why only the conscious of the Pandavas? Because we heard that both sides heard the great sound, both sound was like chaotic and all. But this Sanjay specifically says that fear was in the heart of the Kauravans and not on the Pandavans. If at all
Yeah, sir.
logically you see, Alpana ji
Yeah.
is saying something. Yes, please.
Yeah, because I think that they were Kauravas got scared because they somewhere the Pandavas are on the side of righteousness. That is,
Ah,
Dharma was with them. That is why they were
yes, they
probably
say,
scared. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
Because
Alpana ji
in the
has given,
heart of
yes,
hearts, they know that we are not doing the we are siding with the wrong
Yeah.
people, but
yeah,
because of different compulsions or whatever their decisions.
yes, yes,
Mm.
yes, because many of them have, due to certain circumstances, which they justified themselves,
Mm.
and they've
Mm.
tried to claim that theirs was the righteous cause. But the heart knows, isn't it? The heart knows
Mm.
what is dharma and what is adharma. It knows very clearly. People try to put coverings on top. No, this is right. This is the only way. I didn't have a choice. This person is so bad. What we call gaslighting, all the drama which people do. That does not work for the inner conscience. The guilt is there in the wrongdoer. And
Mm.
here, the Kauravans, though they had the strength, though they had the numbers, though they had experience, everything, they knew that they were not on the side of Dharma. That is why it is a Dharma Yuddha. It is a Dharma Kshetra. Kurukshetra is the Kshetra where it was the line that was drawn between Dharma and Adharma. And that makes a lot of difference. And that is why the Kauravans had fear, while the Pandavans did not have that. At least in the start of Arjuna's case, also, we see a great confidence because I, I am standing firm and tall against Dronacharya, against Bhishma. These are all my teachers. But he is like ready to fight. The Arjuna, how can a student stand up against their own teachers? Somebody may ask, no, here I have a righteous cause. I'm standing for dharma. So here that confidence is there. And that is why we see this difference. Let us continue because this confidence may not last too long for Arjuna, unfortunately. Yes, let us see. So what we see in the 20th shloka, he's readying to battle, lifting his divine bow and he's equipping his quiver. Let me take out my next arrow. I am going to mark my target. That is his mission. Rishikesham tada vakyam midamaha mahipate. Arjuna uvacha. Senayoru bhayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechyata. O king, then to the divine charioteer, Krishna, the following words were spoken by Arjuna. Between the two armies, I request you to take our chariot into the battlefield's center for my sake. So he's asking here, Krishna, between the two armies, take this chariot for my sake. I want to see the opponents. Take my chariot right into the center of the battlefield. Who can say, who can dare to say this? If a storm is coming, people will run away from the storm, isn't it? Who says, I am going to run towards it? I am going to go right into the eye of the storm. Well, only somebody who has got nerves of steel and somebody who has great courage. That is our Arjuna, that is our hero. That is why he had a wonderful name called Parantapa. Parantapa, somebody who has done so much tapa that his tapa has become so hot that everybody is going to get, all his enemies will get burnt by his tapa only. Harasser of enemies. I mean, the Parantapa was somebody whose enemies would, flee just at the sight of him. That was Arjuna's aura. Not one, two, three. It was armies would flee. Oh, Arjuna is there. I'm leaving. I will not take part in this battle. That was Arjuna's aura. And here, a confident Arjuna is now ready to enter right into the center of the battlefield. Is it a death wish? No, it's not. He has planned. He already has an idea. Why does he go? He explains why he wants to go to the center to his great charioteer Krishna. He says, Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Unless this warfield I closely observe and see those who desire to wage the battle against me, I cannot assess the warrior's strength and mind and decide the opponents who are worthy to fight. He says, unless I see this battlefield from up close and see all the opponents who are there. I cannot decide. I want to choose my target who I am going to slay. That is the confidence of Arjuna. And what were the other people doing? They were not sitting ducks. It is not modern day warfare, isn't it? It was the olden days. What we followed, what we call the Dharma Yuddha. In the at least the initial part of the Mahabharata, you see the war. It is exactly as per the rules of Dharma Yuddha. Foot soldier would fight a foot soldier, charioteer versus charioteer. There would be parity. So much was the parity that after sundown, no one would take part in the fight because there it is a matter of luck only. It is not skill. So this is a war. Let the best, most skilled warrior win. That was the entire ethos and rules behind the fighting. And that is exactly what he wants to do. He says, let me see all my opponents. Let me see where they stand. There used to be Chakravyuhus also. Different types of Chakravyuhs. Each person, some would be a pincer formation, another would be another formation. To counter this, another formation would be done. It was a very interesting strategy and perfect maneuvering would take place. And that is why Arjuna says, let me decide my opponent. He goes on further. योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं य एतेऽत्र समागतः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धे युद्धे चिकीर्षवः. Says, oh, all those who have thus gathered here, I wish to see all the warriors from near, the alliance of well-wishers that has combined to support the cause of Duryodhana's false mind. Even now we can see clear Viveka in Arjuna. He is not seeing everybody as individuals. He is understanding I am on a mission. It's okay if there is Guru Dronacharya. It is okay if Bhishma is Pitamaha Bhishma is standing as my opponent, waiting to slay me. He has now joined the false cause of Duryodhana. So he is now supporter of falsehood. And he says, let me see all those who have come. The alliance of well-wishers that have combined to support the cause of Duryodhana's false mind. How clear it is. He says, see, I know all these people. This is an alliance, an unholy alliance that has formed. And I want to see all of them. Let me see from clear. I want to see them eye to eye. Well, that is the confidence of someone who is righteous. And that is how Arjuna is. Sanjay Uvacha. Eva Mukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayoro Bhayor Madhye Sthapayatva Rathottamam. The Uttama Ratha, the Rathottama was then brought as per the wish of Arjuna by our charioteer Krishna. Sanjay spoke, O Emperor, as per the words of Arjuna that were uttered to the divine Krishna, who then drove their chariot magnificent in between the two armies that were present. So Krishna has complied. Before we go to the next part, isn't this absolutely unnatural? This wonderful calm, or this what we can say Arjuna's determination. That's so strong, isn't it?
Yes.
How does one get it
He knows right from wrong. That's all it
when
is.
when you know what is right from wrong? It does not matter, isn't it? If you have even lakhs
Yeah.
of people,
Yeah.
means if you are really true in your heart and you know what is you are doing very sincerely,
Yes.
you are actually strong. You're so strong that you can say, I can take on the entire world. That is the
Mm.
confidence of the one who is walking on the righteous path. You say, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. So that confidence comes on to someone who upholds the Dharma. Is I will be protected by the Dharma and I don't care. I will hold always, I will hold on to the Dharma. This is a true Kshatriya spirit in Arjuna right now. But something's going to happen to that Kshatriya spirit. The Kshatriya spirit and his Vivek Buddhi are going to go for a vacation and everybody is going to blame Krishna for it. Let us see. Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Facing Bhishma and Dronacharya, the commanders, and all the other kings and all the mighty leaders, the following words escaped the lips of Krishna. These are the Kurus you seek to battle. See, O Arjuna. 25th shloka, first words of Krishna. What has he said? He said, these are the Kurus you wish to battle. Before we go into the next shloka, has Krishna said anything wrong? These are the
I
Kurus.
got, sorry, I got lost.
Okay, ji.
Which
25th shloka, the shloka number
20?
25,
Oh, okay, thank
the
you.
25 of the first Adhyay. So,
Yeah.
what has happened is Krishna has taken the chariot as per the instruction of Arjuna. So, the chariot is now facing Pitamaha Bhishma and Dronacharya, the great commanders, and all the other kings and leaders. And Krishna says these following words. So, the first Adhyay, we see the first utterance of Krishna's Sri Mukha's Vani, the beautiful speech from Krishna. It begins with one word only. He says, with a few words, these are the Kurus you seek to battle. See, O Arjuna. Anything wrong here? Any harmful statement made by Krishna? Because everybody's accusing
Mm,
him all the time. He is only responsible. Has he said anything wrong here? Anyone?
no, I think when he said Kaurava, from what I think, it means somebody who's in the wrong. He doesn't need to name the rest of the people
Yeah. Yes.
because
So yes, so I think as Shashiji says, we can't really blame Krishna for anything right now. Arjuna says, I want to go, I want to see the battle. Krishna says, okay, let's go. He takes the chariot into the center and points out. But now comes the fall of Arjuna. Suddenly, the same one, the same Kshatriya, he watches from close. He sees. Let us continue. तत्र पश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थः पितृनथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा. Thus present there, Arjuna watched all his foes, his own uncles and grandfathers who were close, teachers and relatives, his dearest brothers, children, nephews, and friends amongst elders. श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेय सर्वान् बन्धून् नवस्थितान्. And his most beloved ones and in-laws too, in both armies, he saw as he stood between the two. Arjuna noticed all those who had gathered to war, every one of them who had come to spar. So as Arjuna cast his glance on all the people, all the warriors, he has fought so many battles before this. So he knows which is the side which is vulnerable, which point needs to be taken care of. So he's just looking everywhere. But now he's not seeing the supporters of the false mind of Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana. He's seeing his uncle, his grandfather, his teacher, his relative, his dearest friend, there are children, there are nephews, because on both sides he's seeing his people. So which is my enemy? Now he's suddenly the lines are getting all blurred. He's not able to understand. And most beloved ones, in-laws too. Now in-laws also he's seeing in this battle. Normally, in-laws are supposed to, Javai Bapu is going to be treated with a lot of respect. But here he is now treated as number one enemy. He is being, they're standing with ready to attack him. Between both armies, he is standing like this, and suddenly he's seeing everybody. And he is now losing that sharpness that he had just a few shlokas before. My simple question is, why is this happening?
he's saying family. He's not saying
I couldn't hear you. I think, yes, please. Shashiji?
I said he's saying family members. He's not saying
Family members, isn't it?
warriors. He's
Yeah, he's not
family.
seeing warriors now.
Yeah.
He is now seeing family members. And what is happening is he's losing all of his Clarity is gone. How many times it has happened in life? My friend, you too, Brutus moment comes and then the most strong person becomes weak, isn't it? It is like, oh my God, I got betrayed. This person too behaved this way. You too. Whoever it may be, make a list. You look at your life only. Arjuna is a perfect example of all of us. Look at just take out any one example, your family, your own uncle, your grandfather, or your teacher, or your relative, or your dearest brother, sister, anybody. Sometimes children also, nephews also, all these are all, everybody has a sweet spot, isn't it? And sometimes that sweet spot is also the most vulnerable spot people take for granted. And that is what that is why Gita is so important. Because Arjuna didn't have that knowledge. Look at what happened to him. He had not studied the Gita before, no? And that is why, and that is why he is now getting overcome by emotions. And let us see the fall of Arjuna. Why are we seeing this fall? Because we don't want that fall to happen to us anytime. It is all right. Let it be. Let our best friend come and say, you are number one fool or you are the worst person. Or let it be anybody who's close to you. Let them all say you are on the path of wrong. If you have the clarity, you have the sincerity, you have the surrender to the divine, I don't think anything else matters. It does not mean you're not supposed to listen to anybody, but I think we should not doubt ourselves so that we lose our own strength to stand. And this is what is happening. And many times emotions have that way of controlling. They just give a free, world tour ticket to our Vivek Buddhi. Emotions come in and our Vivek Buddhi goes away. We forget most of the decisions taken in an emotional state are wrong decisions only because we cannot see what is right. I'm sorry that day I was in a fit of emotion and I spoke like this. But it's like once an arrow is shot, can you take it back? You cannot. Sometimes we speak certain things and they have implications throughout life and we don't realize it. Because that is why emotions have to be controlled. Look what happened to our Arjuna. Just a few shlokas before he was so strong, ready. He said with full conviction, he said that, see the false cause of Duryodhana. I want to see all those people. He's not even naming them as individuals. But suddenly now he says, no, this is my clear dear one. This is my friend. This is my elder. This is my uncle, etc. Let's continue. कृपया परया विष्टो विषिदन् इदमब्रवीत् अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वैवं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सं समुपस्थितम्. Let me read the second shloka in Sanskrit also, and we'll look at the shlokas in conjunction. सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपिथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते. Despondent and overcome by compassion, a distraught Arjuna spoke in this fashion. O Krishna, my own kin stand here in my sight, all together and filled with a desire to fight. Watching them, my heart gives a cold sigh, and my throat feels all so parched and dry. Down my spine now runs a shiver that makes my whole body shudder. What is happening to Arjuna? He's suddenly saying that, see, look at this. He says, my own kin are standing in front of me, and look at them. They have such an enthusiasm to destroy me. They're having an enthusiasm to fight against me, my own beloved ones. He gives so many. He says, what is all of this? He's not able to suddenly understand because this is a very different battle. Our Arjuna has fought several battles. He is a great Mahabaho, so many such titles he has got. And yet, fighting against your own family? It looks impossible. But my question is, why should we fight against our own family? Is it necessary? Anybody?
We're not fighting the individuals. We're fighting
Okay.
for the truth, what is right. Whatever is right, that's what we fight for, not the
Yes, I think
individuals.
Shashiji, if there is something you can do to increase the volume of your speaker, just once more because
Let me
you told it
just
so well.
speak.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I said that he's fighting. We fight for what is right, not the individual.
Okay. All right. All right. Yes, Shashiji has given a very important message for all of us. This is not a fight against the individuals, but it is fight for the principles, for what is right. And many times we have to fight for our principles, isn't it? Can we deviate from our principles just because we have attachments for somebody? Is it true love? Is it true love if we deviate from principles? It is not, isn't it? It's a distortion. It is a distortion of truth. So sometimes for that we have to stand. We have to take a stand, and that fight is the good fight which has to be fought. But here Arjuna is now only having emotions, so he's not understanding. Gita is such a beautiful scripture because many times in life we have to take part in battles. We can't be cats on the wall. Because injustice happens somewhere. If we just turn a blind eye to it, that injustice is going to spread, and you are going to sooner or later bear the consequence of that. In your apartment system, something wrong is happening. Hey, it's not happening in my flat. It's not happening in my floor. The person on the same floor will say it's not happening in my room or my house. But what if that person there is the biggest criminal? Will that not affect the entire system? It will. And that is exactly something which we have to recognize. And that is why we have to remember we are not fighting individuals. We should not waste our energy fighting any individual. That is a waste. But we must always remember to sometimes remember to stand by our principles. We are fighting for certain righteous principles, and if it is the divine cause, one must never ever worry about anything else. And the divine has his own way of making things fall in place also. Arjuna's story we will see. Right now it looks so horrible. Lakhs of people on the other side, more lakhs of extra soldiers on the opponent side, and all against him, his own teacher, his own elder. But the time is going to change. They say Kalaya Tasmai Namaha. Ultimately, Satyameva Jayate. It is said truth will win. Truth can be hidden. Truth can be sometimes, overwhelmed at moments, but it can never be destroyed. It is something that always prevails, and that is something the Gita teaches. Let us just continue. So here we see Arjuna. He's saying this. He says, my heart has become suddenly, it is giving a cold sigh. My throat is suddenly feeling dry. Somebody put him in a Sahara desert, or what happened to him? He was in the battlefield. And I don't think there was sudden climate change also at that time. So what is it that is happening here? Why is he shivering? Well, this is the what we call psychosomatic link. Your body and mind are connected. Your emotions are also connected. When you are depressed, your entire fighting system of your body also gets, there is what we call immune system depression also happens. So here Arjuna's emotions have completely overwhelmed him, and it's manifesting in these symptoms. I had a nice talk with some of my friends who are from the medical field. As they read these shlokas and these points, they actually said Arjuna is having borderline depression. Immediately, we need to get his case sheet ready, and we have to give him certain start the treatment. Otherwise, it may go ahead, it may go in another direction. Well, that is what happens many times. Emotions, when they are uncontrolled, they take over, and that is why we have to become strong. And that is why probably we have to read the Gita. Gita will teach us. Krishna is going to teach us, and I would say Arjuna is also going to teach us only. First teacher for us is Arjuna in the Gita. When we learn from Arjuna, then we become worthy of having Krishna as our charioteer. So we have to learn that first, how to cultivate Arjuna consciousness. Then Krishna's consciousness will directly flow in. We will see that in the next chapters. So, but right now Arjuna is in trouble. He says, Gandivam sransate hastat tvak chaiva paridahyate न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. From my hand slips the Gandiva bow, and my skin seems on fire now. My mind and head are spinning round. Impossible it is for me to even stand ground. Look at the great mighty Kshatriya Somebody so powerful. He says, I am not even able to hold my weapon. My hands are trembling. This Gandiva Dhanushya is falling from my hand. My skin, it seems like it is on fire. My mind and head are spinning around. It's impossible to me. It is impossible for me to even stand ground. He says, I can't even stand it on this. Forget fight. I can't stand straight right now. That is the overwhelming nature. This is again another example for us of what not should not happen to us. We should not let our emotions take the better of us. A very sad thing had happened to a friend of mine. It was it was like she was in school. She got the news actually that her father passed away in an accident. And the worst thing that happened was her mother passed away listening to that news on the phone. And in one moment, you see a friend has become orphaned. How is this possible? How well, this is the thing. Mind, emotions, they are taking over completely over the body. And this is exactly what's happening to our Arjuna. And when it can happen to somebody who is so disciplined, so powerful, so strong, such a great, righteous man like Arjuna, I don't think we should think we are too high in the sky. We should be alert and we should be sure that this should not happen to us. We should take a pledge to ourselves. Let us not get so overwhelmed by things. Good is going to come. Like after the night, there is going to be a dawn, something like that. We must recognize, we understand that standing by the truth, standing by the righteousness. How many people have stood by it? Some have lost their lives, but they have still stood by it. That is why today we are reading Bhagavad Gita, because there was a devilish ploy to destroy the entire source of strength of Bharat only. We were going to be permanently disconnected, and yet you see those brave men and women who sacrificed their lives upholding Dharma, not getting overwhelmed, not running away from the battle, standing head on to take the challenge ahead. So that is something we have to see. So here, Arjuna says, it's almost like a child saying to the teacher before the exam, I'm suffering from fever, I can't come to school, please give me leave. He says, he says, my skin is also on fire, as if suddenly he's got, this is delusional. Fire is like, what is the meaning of this? Because this is the, again, psychosomatic link. Psychologically, he is now losing it. He's losing it. He goes on further. He goes on. He says, Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava nucha shreyo nu pashyami hatva sajana mahave. Now he says, even all the signs that I observe, oh Krishna, they seem so obverse. One question before I continue. Is Arjuna Jyotishacharya? Is he Nostradamus? Why is he now looking at sign language and predicting from the omens when his job and duty is clear? He has to fight as a Kshatriya, but now the emotions are taking him completely for a ride. He is not able to think clearly. Means we respect Arjuna so much. We say we want to get the great sincerity of Arjuna, but where Arjuna is wrong, we have to also understand and remember that this should not happen to us. So here, Krishna is his charioteer. Instead of asking a counsel from Krishna, what is he doing? He's saying, Krishna, I'm seeing bad signs. But you also see so beautifully Krishna has given all the freedom for him to talk. We don't see Krishna interrupting him also or mocking him. He's just saying, acha beto, bolo. Yeah, go on. Speak what you want to speak. And Arjuna goes on. He says, even all the signs that I observe, oh Krishna, they seem so obverse. I see absolutely no fame or pride in killing anyone on either side. He uses the word swajana, the hatya of swajana. Swajana means my own people. So my question is, when a warrior fights in a battle, is he the same as a petty murderer on the street or somebody who gets convicted of murder for killing someone for some selfish goal or some selfish either desire based or lust for wealth or something like that? Is that the same as a warrior fighting? Is it murder?
No, because they're fighting for the good of all.
Yes, ji.
They're fighting for the good of all, not an
Yeah, and a soldier
individual.
is in action is not a murderer, isn't it? He's doing his duty, no? Whichever side the person, maybe if there's a soldier and he's standing from the side of his nation, he's doing service to the nation. He cannot be called a murderer just like that. Like a doctor operating over a patient. And if the patient does not survive, do you call the doctor a murderer? If there is criminal negligence, that is an absolutely different aspect. But here, when he is doing his duty and somebody does not survive, can you call such a person murderer? No, you cannot. But look at the language of Arjuna, it has now changed. The warrior who has fought so many battles and probably slain so many people, he says, this is murder, Krishna. This is murder. I cannot see anything good coming out of this. He goes on further. न कांक्षे विजयम कृष्ण न च राज्यम सुखानि च किम नो राज्येन गोविंद किम भोगैर जीवितेन वा. This is height of Delulu. Look at what he says. He says, "Oh Krishna, I desire not a victory, nor the comforts of a territory. Any kingdom or lordship acquired in this way, would it not be a waste? What else of it can I say?" So we see here Arjuna is saying, Krishna, I don't desire any victory. I do not want comforts of territory. What is the use of such a lordship if I get it also? Will it not go waste? I just ask one simple question. Which territory is being offered to Arjuna freely? Is Arjuna receiving some free territory? He says, I don't desire any territory.
No, he's not.
It's not. Anybody else would like to add to what Shashiji has said? Arjuna got some lucky draw, is it? This territory is now his. No, nobody. Arjun, Duryodhana said, I will not give a needle tip of land. And look at his way of talking now. He's talked about first he's calling it, he says, this is murder, Krishna. I'm seeing bad omens, I'm seeing bad signs. And then he says, I don't need the Rajya. What Samrajya will be great for me if I'm going to kill people? He says, I do not want such a Samrajya, which is going to be. What else can I say? It's a waste, he says. Meaning the very mission that he has taken, the mission of his life, the mission that he has embarked upon as he entered into this battle. Is he alone? No. He has his commitment to so many other people as well. And yet all of it has been forgotten in a moment because of the emotions. And he says it's all a waste. This is later on in the Gita, we will learn tamas. This is tamasic force taking over what is the sattva inside of an individual. These are battles which always take place. Many people say the real battle is not in Kurukshetra, it is the battle on the inside that has to be won. If that battle is won, the game is already yours. You're already the master of the game, irrespective of which Kshetra or where you are, any field. If you win the battle on the inside, you are going to be the master of the game. But if the battle inside is lost, then wherever you go, no matter how skilled you are, no matter how the everything is stacked in your favor, everything can go to waste. Arjuna unfortunately looks like he's going on the wrong side. Somewhere we can see maybe Dhritarashtra must be snickering with happiness. Yes, Arjuna is falling. Let us see. येषाम् अर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च त इम इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च. Says, my dearest ones, for whose very sake these kingly comforts I desire, with their lives and wealth at stake, they stand here in the line of fire. So he says, I have always, all my life, I think it's a normal human tendency, isn't it? Every parent tries to do something good for the next generation. Here, Arjuna is no different from any good human being who aspires good for his children, good for his progeny. And he says, see, for my family, for my future, only for the posterity have I done all my efforts. And look what has happened here, he says. Their lives and wealth, both is at stake, and they're standing here. All the sukha I wanted was to give it to them, and look what is happening right now. I'm not able to give it to them. Instead, look at this, they're getting destroyed. I see that only here. I don't see anything else. Isn't this a difficult emotion to observe? I don't have kids, but I can maybe a little bit palpable, but somebody who has children will actually really connect with Arjuna's point of view. He might actually feel he is not totally wrong in saying whatever he is saying. How is it wrong? Everybody aspires for the next. Well, I think even plants and animals also. I mean, plants, we do not know exactly the level of consciousness, but animals do aspire. You can see the love. They want their progeny to progress. Same, he says here. What is wrong? Let us go on. Acharyaha pitaraha putraस्तथैव च पितामहः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा. My teachers, brothers, and my children, nephews, in-laws, and grandchildren, my elders, and likewise grandfathers, many other family members. It's like he's come to a family reunion, only this is not happening in a wonderful hall or anywhere. It is in a battlefield. And instead of, what we have drinks and food plates, they are having weapons in their hand, ready to kill each other. Arjuna is completely confused in what's going on. He's not able to understand it. He goes on further. He says, एतान् हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतोः किं नु महि कृते. O Krishna, to kill them I desire not. Such a crime in my life I have never sought. Not for ruling the three realms of the earth. Surely is such a lordship any worth? So boss is back to his own imagination. That even if the three lokas of the earth is given to him, he is the Rajya of the Trailokya. Rajya is also Arjuna's only. He says, what is the use? I don't know, he's forget Trailokya, he's still not getting his natal tip of land also. He's still thinking about what great Rajya if it comes to me also, it's of no use. And he's again and again re-emphasizing that this is murder, this is murder. It is not murder at all when you're doing, if you see the soldier who fights for the country, he is not a murderer. The one who slays terrorists, the one who slays who are on the unrighteous side, that is not murder at all. Arjuna is still forgetting everything. He says, no, this is not worth at all. Then he goes on further. He says, Nihadya dhartarashrannaha ka pritihi syat janardana papameva shrayedasman hatvaintan atatayinaha. O Krishna, by killing Dhritarashtra's sons, what happiness is there for me to gain? I will only suffer for my sins with pain, for murdering these impetuous ones. So now he is calling them children of Dhritarashtra. Duryodhana is suddenly being painted into, oh, the innocent children of Dhritarashtra, these ones. What will I get by murdering all of these people? I'm not a murderer, is what he's saying. We can almost say he's someone trying to run away from the duty completely, whether he is aware of it or he's not aware of it. This is the truth. He is forgetting what his duty is at this moment and just running by his emotions. And he says, and again he's thinking of himself only. He says, I will only suffer for my sins with pain, for murdering these impetuous ones. He knows they are not good. These atatainas, these ones who are just brash and rude. He says, I will suffer. He says, I will suffer. I will get the sins. I will incur sin if I take part in this battle. That is what he's trying to say. That is again a very strange kind of explanation given by Arjuna. Because of paucity of time, we will just look at one more shloka and then we'll have a short discussion and we'll probably conclude at shloka number 37. Tasmanarham vayam hantum hadrashtraan sabandhavan swajanam hi katham hatva sukhinah syama madhava. Oh Krishna, it doesn't seem fit What satisfaction will I thus merit? Waging war against them, what can I win? For I shall be killing my own kin. He says, there is no point. He says, there is no point. What is the satisfaction which I will get from this? Does a warrior fight a battle for satisfaction, though? Anybody? Is it only for satisfaction that a warrior fights a battle?
It's not personal satisfaction, is it?
Yes, yeah, I think
It
Shashi,
is
I think
not
you'll have to.
personal
It's
it is
not
not
personal
personal
satisfaction.
satisfaction, no.
Yes, yes, never, never, never. It's a very war itself is quite cruel, but the soldiers are real heroes. They are ready to stand and they are standing by their duty, by their dharma to protect. He is forgetting what had happened to Draupadi. He is forgetting what will happen if these forces continue. What is going to happen to so many other people? But right now, his own individual thinking. I mean, even if you see today also, if you see, we have in our Indian armed forces are actually called defense services, defense forces, because they don't go invading into other territories. They stand by certain high principles. And yet, so many people, when so many young ones, 20, 21, they are ready to sacrifice their life for whom? For a bunch of civilians who are never going to even acknowledge that sacrifice, who are going to mock and ridicule, and they're not going to even respect the families that they are going to leave behind. They will not even uphold the duty towards their country, which they have. And yet, they don't pause, they don't even hesitate twice to lay down their life. Because that is the idea of Bharat, or that is the high principle of war. Arjuna is suddenly the great warrior who is a leader, who is a commander, who is a Maharathi, not an ordinary person. He's like in charge of an entire regiment. Such a great leader has now forgotten because of his emotions only. And in this forgetfulness, he's calling it murder. He's saying, what sins will I get? Can we say Arjuna is now speaking the truth, or Arjuna is the one who is we can, because Gita is called a Pramana Shastra. Pramana Shastra meaning the Shastra which can be quoted verbatim as a evidence of truth only. Is Arjuna speaking words which are perfectly true?
He's,
Yes, Shashiji?
he's yeah, at the moment
He's not, isn't it?
he's lost his nerve
He's lost
for the
his nerve.
moment
He's lost
because
his
he's
nerve.
lost his clarity.
Yes, yes, yes. He's lost his clarity. And that is why the first Adhyay of the Gita, whatever is said by Arjuna, is not considered to be Pramana. It cannot be considered as a, because these are the words of a great, nice, genuine human individual who is now overcome by grief and emotions and is now speaking things which are not really sensible. That is why we should not make a mistake of taking it as Pramana. A young friend of mine shared his anger and resentment towards the Gita, and when I asked him what happened, he said because of Gita, his friend did not get married. I was shocked. How did that happen? He said, the Gita says you should not marry another person from another jati. I said, what do you mean? No, no, my friend said his father told it is from the Gita and he could not speak anything. He kept quiet and he did not propose to the girl he liked. Now that was very, very strange to hear this. And I said, where is it in the Gita? Then there's a particular verse by Arjuna where he talks about Varna Sankara, which has been interpreted so many different and funny ways by different people. He said that was a shloka. I said, did he not try to read the Gita? If he really was so sincere, he should have just picked up the Gita and tried to counter immediately rather than go by hearsay. So Arjuna's words in this particular part of the Gita are actually the words of any friend of ours or even ourselves when we are overcome with emotions, when we are sorrowful. What happens then? We speak almost anything, isn't it? Sometimes you're very angry and you speak absolute nonsense and you feel afterwards, ki, oh, what did I say? How wrong was I? Why did I say this? Well, you did not say it. Your emotions were speaking and you were not speaking the truth. You lost control of yourself. That is the state of Arjuna. First Adhyay is called the grief of Arjuna, or we can say the depression of Arjuna. It's entering into him. It's because of this one gate of emotions he kept open, and that is why the fall took place. So we will take some, maybe one more. I think in the next session, the first Adhyay will be complete. So we will understand what we should not do in the first Adhyay of the Gita actually. But we can also look at Krishna and see how the perfect counselor is, the perfect friend is, the perfect elder is. Whatever Arjuna is speaking is wrong, but Krishna is not blasting him right away. He's allowing him to speak. He's allowing him to speak whatever it is, allowing him to vent. And Arjuna is also doing something very nice. Instead of bottling it all up inside of him, he is now venting it out to someone he really trusts, someone who is his elder, someone who is his friend. One may say Guru also, though not yet. He has not yet gone to that state. But Guru Tulya, we can say, like a Guru, somebody like that, he is now sharing. So if we want to draw an inference from the first Adhyay, even in the Krishna's Butter project, which is led by Dr. Bhavna, Sri Malswan Damleji, Avantiji, and all the other teachers, they have a simple lesson for all the kids. It is if you do not know in something, never hesitate to ask help from an elder, from a teacher, from a close friend, or a trusted person. And that is the thing Arjuna has done. We must also remember because sometimes children easily ask questions. They easily don't bottle up everything inside. But adults feel, no, now I am adult. I am extra different. So I can't meet a therapist. I can't speak to somebody else. I can't show my vulnerability. That creates a lot of problems. So Arjuna is teaching us one more nice thing. When in trouble, don't hesitate to ask for help. Look how Arjuna asked that help. We will continue. We stop here at this particular point. 37th sloka. Arjuna is still ranting about this being a murder, and he's talking about murder of own family members. Only he's not going to stop. He's going to escalate it further. First Swajana Hatya, then he's going to call it Mitra Droha, then he's also going to call it Guru Hatya, and let's see where his pressure cooker runs out of steam. But till then, we'll have to continue. So I think with this we conclude. If anybody wants to ask or share something, you're welcome, or we conclude with a Shanti mantra. We stop today's Gita study circle reading for the day. And throughout the week, we are welcome to read any other version of the Gita, also any other. Gita has only one version, that is the version of truth, but we can read it and we can share. We can share our insights in the group so we can all learn and grow together. With this, let us conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Hari Om.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om Ji. Punarvilam. Namaste.